Hey everyone, welcome to this month's Global Stampin' Video Hop. My name is Sophia and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Edmonton, Canada. And this month our theme is to use products from the Sale-A-Bration catalog that's coming up. So basically what that means is if you spend $60 or more Canadian in the Stampin' Up! Store, you will get an item for free. And then the items get more bigger, I guess, like the more you spend. So if you spend $120, you could get maybe a stamp set that has a little bit more pieces in it. So anyways, I am going to share one of those stamp sets today. I'm sorry, there's kind of a shadow here. It gets night really early here in Edmonton now, and so there is a little bit of shadow in my video today, and I apologize for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The stamp set I'm going to be using is called Adorable Owls, and you can get this set for free starting January 4th if you spend $60 in my online store. So what I'm gonna do with it today is make a tag. So I'm actually gonna be using this image, and since Christmas is right around the corner, I figured it'd be a nice idea to make Christmas tags if you're wanting to do that. So I'm gonna grab my stamp. I have it right here mounted already, and here's just a scrap piece of paper, and what I'm gonna do is go ahead and ink that up in Memento ink, because what I'm gonna be doing is coloring it with alcohol blends. So you just want to go there and stamp that down with even pressure. Okay, another item I'm going to be using today is one of my stamp sets from, which one was this? The Ho 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 Paper Pumpkin Kit. So if you got the Paper Pumpkin Kit in October, this is the stamp set that came with it. I'm gonna be using the Santa image just so that I can cut this hat out. So I'm gonna grab that stamp and also ink that up. You can always tell if it's inked up properly or not just by kind of looking at it. So I might have to re-ink my Memento ink pad anyway. Okay, so I just need the hat, so I'm not worried about the rest of his face right now. Okay, so we're just gonna close that. And now I'm just gonna color these. So I'm using Stampin' blends today. These are Cherry Cobbler in color, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the light, and I'm gonna use the brush side. Hopefully you can see this. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And we're just gonna color the hat, that nice Cherry Cobbler color. It's minus 30 here today, so it's been really cold. I had to go on a field trip, and that was something. This is dark Cherry Cobbler, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go over this line to give it a bit of a shadow, and maybe just kind of across the bottom here too. And then you're gonna grab your light again, and this time I'm gonna use my fine tip and just kind of go over the area surrounding where I did the dark, just so that it blends in properly. So all I need from here is this hat, and so I'm gonna leave the rest of that blank. Actually, I'm gonna use my light pool party, and I'm just gonna add a little line here and a little bit there, just to give it a little bit of, so it doesn't look plain white texture. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so there's our hat. And then I'm using Crumb Cake Dark and Light for my owl. And we'll quickly color him. I'm gonna start with light Crumb Cake. And honestly, I found that using the fine tip for the owl made it a little bit easier. So I'm gonna use the fine tip and get his belly, and then the inside of his face. Actually, for this part, I can use, anytime it's a bigger area, you can use the brush tip, but with the smaller areas, I find the fine tip works better. Okay, so, because it does kind of spread when you're using alcohol ink, it just kind of starts spreading as soon as you start coloring with it, or smudging, I don't really know, but you gotta be a little bit careful. Okay, so there is the inside of my owl. And then I'm gonna take my dark crumb cake, and for this one, for sure, I'm gonna use the fine point and just make sure I'm not going outside the lines here. All right, so I am done my coloring. What I'm going to do now is just cut these images out, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I am back. All I did was fussy cut these images out, and so what I'm gonna be doing is taking the hat and putting it on top of the owl like that for my tag. So I did just want to add a little bit of shading, and I thought I'd do that on camera. So I'm just gonna take my dark crumb cake, sorry, that one's light, which is here, and I'm just gonna kind of go over the hair area here. Not that this is gonna matter, because I guess the hat will cover it, but it's just nice to have a little bit of shade where the hair is. So same with right here and right there, and maybe around here as well, just in the fingers or the wings, I guess, area. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not great at shading myself, but yeah, just for a little bit of extra texture, it's nice to do a little bit of shading. Okay, so there's our owl. See, isn't he so much cuter now that he's shaded? I'll zoom in a little there. Okay. And then the next thing you're gonna do is I am using my, what are these called? Tailor made tags. And I used the very big one, the biggest one on this side. And I cut out a piece of designer series paper. So I chose this color. And then I did one in just plain white. And this one's just a size smaller than this. So it kind of still shows the back of the paper, which is what I wanted. And on this one, I'm just gonna do a little bit of stamping. So I'm using a snowflake stamp, again, from that October paper pumpkin kit. And I'm gonna be stamping the back of that in soft succulent, which is one of the new in colors. Well, I guess not new anymore, but one of the colors from this here. So you're just gonna take that, and I think I'll do some stamped off ones. And some that are dark. Go do that there. And just stamp that kind of randomly like this. So you end up with something like that. And then I'm gonna stamp my greeting. So I've got one that says no peeking. And I think I'm gonna do that in just black. So just grab my black Memento ink and ink up that no peeking. Put it down just like that. And then we're gonna cut that out, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. So we're gonna grab our owl, and you can either use liquid glue or glue dots or whatever you wanted here. I think I'm gonna actually use glue dots. And just kind of put them along the bottom of the hat. I've been trying to use up all these glue dots that I get in my paper pumpkin kits, and I'm actually really enjoying them now that I've used them a lot. They're just cleaner and you don't get glue everywhere, which is also another bonus. Okay, so I'm gonna take the hat and I'm just gonna stick it on my owl like this, and he is just gonna go on to there. But I'm gonna put my tag together first. So for that, I'll be using just some red and white twine here, and we'll just cut a piece of that off. How big is this? It's about 11.5 inches. You don't have to have it that big if you don't want to. So we're just gonna kind of bring that to the front. And make a bow. Doesn't have to look amazing because it's going on a gift. And really, you can do this for like a birthday gift or anything. It doesn't have to be for Christmas. I'm just doing it for Christmas because I'm sure I can use it in the next little while for that. Okay, so there's our bow. We can kind of fix that up later. Mine's a little twisted right now, but once you untwist it, you just hold it in the center and pull it down like that. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so then we're gonna put our owl on. If you're somewhere where it's warm right now, I am really jealous of you. Okay, I don't want that many dimensionals, so those 4 are fine. And then we're gonna put the owl on, right like that. And then you're gonna grab your greeting, and I'm just gonna hand cut it out. So just make sure you're trying to go straight. And I know this paper is like, you're probably like, what are you doing right now? But it's okay. It'll look fine at the end. You can tell that's a little bit crooked. There. And then I'm just gonna cut it like a banner on the sides. There. So that is gonna come on just right over there, and I'll do that in dimensionals as well. Okay, get all of this out of the way. And yeah, just set it down, and there is our tag. All right, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna move this out of the way because I feel like it's taking away from my owl. But there is my little tag. And again, like if you wanted to do it for a birthday, you could use this owl with this hat, which is also really cute. But yeah, I think that that's perfect for a Christmas tag. I'd love to hear what you think. Leave me a comment below, and if you're looking to buy something in January or February, I think it goes until the end of February, Sale-A-Bration, you can get this stamp set for free. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll link my store below in the description, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.